Welcome back. You are with us on Closing Bell. We will be looking at a lot of the upcoming earnings in a moment as well. But first, a focus on some more stocks. Prakash, let me quickly ask you about this move on PVR, which is now approaching 1200. I mean, it's a good day after such a long time. Is this a start of things to come, or do you think this is just a trading bounce that's come through?
No, I think one of the surprising things that happened yesterday in the market, especially our market, was in spite of Russia having announced a breakthrough on the vaccine, the conviction level seemed so weak. The confidence in the acceptability of this vaccine on a scalable in a scalable way across the board was so weak that the markets didn't take it positively. But somewhere the late reaction in the global markets tells you that probably discretionary spends and consumption will probably start coming back. One of the reasons that Indigo is flying today, apart from the fact that they've decided to strengthen their balance sheet in some other ways, is that there could be a resumption of normal, day-to-day life. Travel will begin. People would want to probably start getting more comfortable going into cinemas and all. But it's a bit too early for it to translate into operational numbers. But the expectation that PVR has gone all the way from 1900, 2000 to 1000, probably you will see a little bit of a 20-25% of an upside in preparation for a normalization of these things. So I think all these, and mind you, it could be even the hospitality sector, the restaurant and the hotel business, which could also start seeing these kind of moves as acceptance of the vaccine being round the corner starts looking at. And I was looking at maybe an East India or an Indian hotels. There is very clear buying interest in some of these names, including Indigo and PVR. So I would put them in the same category as that. And yes, it could probably be a bit more sustainable if the normalization theme catches more trend.
Okay, by the way, let's now discuss two stocks which are doing really well. Both come out with the numbers tomorrow, and both, of course, two-wheeler stocks, primarily two-wheeler stocks, Hero and Eicher Motors. Sonia, if you could quickly run us through both.
Well, as you rightly pointed out, the stocks have had a huge run-up. So for Hero MotoCorp, the stock is up 76% from the lows that we saw in the month of March. This will be a washout quarter Q1, but the demand has picked up definitely July onwards, especially in the entry-level motorbike segment. As per the management, inquiry levels have also gone up, and that's what the stock is factoring in. In terms of Q1 numbers for Hero MotoCorp, revenues down 65%, EBITDA down 91%, and profits down 94%. However, if you look at just purely July, the sales have gone up almost 15% on a month-on-month basis. Even for Eicher Motors, the stock has rallied 70% from the lows in March. This quarter will be a washout for them because both in standalone, as in both in Royal Enfield and the commercial vehicle business, things have been very weak. So overall revenues down 70%, EBITDA down 95%, and Eicher Motors will report a loss of 290 odd crores. The management, though, Vinod Dasari of Royal Enfield was very, very optimistic in his recent interview. He said the demand has returned June onwards and is back to pre-COVID levels. In fact, the inquiries in July have been the highest since Diwali of last year. So yes, the Q1 numbers will be a washout, but the street is looking ahead and factoring in an improvement in demand. Back to you.
Okay, Sonia, thanks a lot for that. Ms. Tulsian, Hero, of course, has been one of your top picks. It's done remarkably well. But your incremental thoughts here, and also on Eicher, perhaps?
Anuj, we continue to have, if you are a compulsive buyer in the auto space, then we are still buyer in the two stocks, that is Maruti and Hero Moto. And going by the sales numbers which we have seen for the month of July, it was quite comforting to see Hero Moto crossing 5 lakh vehicles. Yes, I agree that the overall things are seen to be quite positive for the auto sectors. But now, in fact, that's what I have been saying for last 1 week, that we are keeping more positive bias on the auto ancillary rather than auto OEM going forward. So maybe the things are seen to be quite wait and watch for the other automakers, maybe like TVS, Bajaj Auto, or maybe Eicher Motors. So we allow the results to come in tomorrow for Hero Motor and then take a call on Hero Motor and Maruti if we are a compulsive buyer at the current levels.
Okay, got that. All right, Mr. Tulsian, thank you very much for being with us today and giving us some sense on these stocks, the trends that we've discussed. We will catch up with you again. Well, let's take the conversation forward. As promised, we have a view coming in from Kotak AMC today. Harish Krishnan, EVP and Senior Equities Fund Manager at Kotak Mutual Fund, is joining in. Harish, interesting times. The market continues to move higher and higher. I don't know, I mean, at mutual funds, what the mood is like, because going by flows, things are very, very tepid. But I don't know, is that a good thing considering the market has already run so much?
Hi. So yeah, these are interesting times, as you rightly pointed out. Possibly, the way I would respond is to look at how we managed, say, Kotak Balance Advantage Fund, because that's a fund where we dynamically change equity levels, and that should give you a sense as to how we are positioned, given the strong bounce that we've seen from the lows. Just to kind of refresh, this is a fund that varies net equities from 20% to 80%. Sometime by end of March, early April, we were fully invested. That's close to about 80%. In January, just to kind of recap, we were at 35%. So we used the fall quite aggressively to add on to equities, use that opportunity. Subsequently, obviously, we've seen almost a 40-45% move in headline indices and in stocks, as you all aware. It could be even 2-3x. We have pruned down equity exposure. So from about 80%, we are currently at about 50%. So in some sense, we are bang in the middle of the range of 20 to 80%. So pretty much we booked profits. Obviously, delighted that we got this opportunity to give investors a cheaper way to participate into equities, and now using the discipline to book profits. Effectively, yes, it does appear that valuations are reasonably fully valued. There are obviously pockets of opportunities, but they come with their own set of risks as we look at things standing now. Now, if one is looking at equities, I think the way we are advising is to increase the horizons of investment. It is no longer a T20 or a one-day match. It has to be viewed in the construct of a test match. And therefore, we think that there could be a period of consolidation before, markets tend to start moving upward.
Okay, by the way, there's some profit taking happening on Bharat Forge now after that big move. So post the management commentary, there's some profit taking which has happened here. Now, Harish, good afternoon. Auto ancillary is making a big comeback, not just today, but you've seen over the past few days names like Amara Raja, Exide, Bharat Forge itself, Motherson Sumi. It's been a decent move. Your views here, and do you have any of these stocks in your portfolio?
Yes, Anuj. One theme that we've been playing through our funds is getting back to work. Clearly, India Inc. is moving from lockdown to various phases of unlock. And it's been our view that consumables that get consumed within the factories will possibly see a higher restocking before factories start selling them to the consumers, because clearly consumer demand will take some time for things to normalize given the extent of COVID, which is spreading across India. And therefore, in that context, auto anks is one place. Similarly, we like gas utilities which get consumed within the factories. Some early cyclicals of capital goods, be it bearings, be it explosives, the nuts and bolts that go into the factories, into the workplaces. Telecom is again another great example of the same thesis, wherein clearly to get the thing going back into our workplaces, which are the kind of sectors and themes and stocks that can benefit from. So in that context is where we look at auto ancillaries. Also do remember that auto ancillaries are also a play not only among the domestic auto consumption, but even from a global auto demand perspective. And clearly the global stimulus has been far more overwhelming than the Indian stimulus, which means that the global business environment is stabilizing faster. And the auto in the global kind of domain has been in a sluggish environment for almost now 3 years. So it fits into a time horizon of a deep time correction, some amount of restocking as factories get back to work, and also export opportunities as they improve, especially from a lot of China focus that most companies want to de-risk themselves from. Again, a lot of these Indian auto companies or auto ancillaries find mention for a lot of global OEs. So it's a combination of all of these that we are present in the space.
By the way, just to get back to the screen, take a look at the dream run on HCL Tech. 52-week highs today on the stock, and the superpower there, 5% up. and it is flown to the highest levels of this session. Big move there on HCL Technologies today. Now, that brings me to the theme that the market is obviously obsessed with, and we all know why, and that's, internet, technology and digital. Harish, how would you look at playing it? Would you look at any sort of mid-cap, quasi-internet, quasi-digital companies in India, anything that's cropped up on your radar? I know you won't give us the name, but just your thoughts.
So, this is exactly the scope of the fund called the Kotak Pioneer Fund, wherein, our entire observation was India Inc. is going through a massive reset phase. And this has started not only now, it's been almost about 2-3 years since demonetization. And technology is under disruptor or a leveler. What our observation is that in every sector, we see maybe 3 or 4 companies which are using technology in a very different way. They're using these disruptions in a very meaningful way to grab mind share, market share in this difficult environment. And we all know that in a tough market, grabbing market share means that it can pay off quite meaningfully in terms of profits when the demand environment comes back. So it is in this context that that this fund is positioned. We believe there are a lot of opportunities. It need not necessarily be in the space as defined as internet or digital, but in terms of clearly, for example, even if you look at say real estate, which may seem like possibly the least impacted or the least influenced by digital. You have companies which are actually consolidating the space over the course of the last 2-3 years and have taken significant market share. Similarly, if you look at, say, jewelry retailing, we have got companies which are using home video calling to try and showcase their inventory in ways which may not have existed, say, 6 months back in a pre-COVID environment. So our sense is that there are managements that are agile, that are using these opportunities. Yes, for sure, the next 6 months is going to be difficult from a sales perspective. But the mind share that one clocks in during a difficult time frame is going to be impossible to vacate when things start improving. And that is exactly where we are positioned across market cap, across sectors. And a part of this fund is also invested overseas in a technology fund, wherein we've got about 45-50 investments across the world, which are focused on primarily technology, digital, IoT, etc.
Okay, Harish, we'll have to end it here today. We, of course, have you on phone lines, so that's the limited conversation that we can have today. But that's the word from Kotak Mutual Fund. The market absolutely comatose over the last 15-20 minutes, has not moved an inch. The Nifty, that is, still down about 10 points. But individual stocks have done well. We'll take a break. Up next, we have tomorrow's trade. BTST calls and a couple of other previews are also left for tomorrow's trade.